Yo, so Uzi finally released his awaited project called the Pink Tape. Originally, I'm pretty sure originally it was supposed to be a mixtape, and then it just so happened that it turned into like an album. That's how much you know. What's your thoughts on this Uzi in general? Like, you fuck with him, like, what I mean, or like his
Do
last.
I fuck with him? I fuck heavy with Lil Uzi. I fuck heavy with Lil Uzi. It's just that he's been kind of ghost for a while. You know what I mean? Even though like he came out, when was his last album? I feel like his last
It came out in 2020.
20. Yeah, so he's been ghost for a while. And that's the one thing that like I kind of get frustrated about him is like he makes good music, but like he doesn't put out music as much as I would like him to.
I think it's kind of it makes sense just for him just because like
But he's the type of artist that can do that though. Yeah, I
no
feel
yeah that too, but I also think too much Uzi is might be too much, like
Yeah, I know what you're saying because I was saying that about Drake, like back then, like probably like 2016. I was saying that, man, too much Drake in my face, man. Like he's a good artist, but when you hear too much of his sound, it starts to sound repetitive.
yeah. So yeah, I fuck with Uzi. I've been fucking with him since before the double XL. You know what I mean? Like I think he's definitely one of the goats when it comes to the younger generation. I think um it's definitely hard. I feel like not now, but like back then, it was definitely harder to like recommend him. You know what I mean to people who weren't aware of him, just because of like the music he made, I guess. And like people would say it's not like it was back when niggas was just putting everything in mumble rap, so it's just like it was hard to kind of recommend his music. But eventually he got like mainstream when I think he got mainstream once um Raindrop dropped off. Look at the what was that? I forget that song. Like,
Migos.
yeah, I think that's Bad and Bougie. That's when
Mm.
Uzi was up, and then literally right after Bad and Bougie, he dropped uh no, Dead Friends, or what was it called?
EXO tour life.
XO Tour Life. He dropped XO Tour Life, and it was literally over. Like, but I still remember the day I was like, yo, they're really playing Lil Uzi on the radio. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's just,
Would you consider him like at the time when EXO tour life come out was like he was like an emo viewed as like an emo rapper?
honestly, I don't think so. I literally think XO Tour Life was probably like some of his most emo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just funny that that song blew up. It just happened. Like, it was just so catchy that it blew up. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the same with like X and Sad. Like Sad is like a sad song, but like it's just so catchy. It's just,
Yeah.
you're listening to it, you're just bumping it.
Bro, you listen to EXO Tour Life, bro. Like, I remember when I first listened to it, I wasn't even viewing it as a sad song. I was like, yo, this song is fire. And then, like, a couple of times when we listened to it, I was like, but he's saying some really sad shit in this a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so he dropped Eternal Take 2020. And that was probably my most anticipated album that year. And I think, in my opinion, it really delivered. And like now looking back, I when it comes to projects, that's definitely like, or when it comes to albums, I think that's his best album. Like when it comes to albums, you know what I mean. The mixtapes is different, but albums, because I think an album is Love Is Rage 2 is an album, and then Eternal Take. I don't know what other album he dropped, but I know it's Love Is Rage 2 was an album, and Eternal Take was an album. But yeah, Eternal Take was really fucking good. It was a little bit long. I'm not gonna like say it wasn't. I think that's just an issue with like artists in general, like having way too much music in their shit. But I think the best for me when it comes to an artist making an album, it has to be cohesive, right? It has to make sense why you named it that. You know what I mean? It has to make, like, I think the songs should all go together well. And I'm not saying every song should end with like a transition to the next song, but like it does add a lot of like storytelling when it comes to the project you're dropping. You know what I mean? And I think the reason why I believe that the Pink Tape was supposed to be a mixtape versus this is because Uzi kept on delaying the Pink Tape, and then eventually I Just Wanna Rock came out. You know what I mean? And I Just Wanna Rock was like, he was just something that he was trolling in the studio, and then people made snippets of it and posted it all over Instagram and shit, and then it just started going viral. You know what I mean? The snippet was started going viral, which pushed him to release the song. You know what I mean? So I think.
So that was like your favorite album?
Of his, Eternal Take, yeah.
Mine is Lil I think it's called Lil Uzi Vert versus the World.
Album. Is that an album or is that a mixtape?
I thought that was an album. That's not an album?
You should just hit Google, you'll see if it's an album or not. I'm pretty sure that was a mixtape. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure that's a mixtape. Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert versus the World is a mixtape.
Oh damn. That was my favorite project.
Mixtape. You know, that's why I preference it by saying album. You know, album. But yeah, so what did you think about Pink Tape in general after you finished listening to it?
It definitely was a experimental like mixtape because
album.
Album. I mean, because Uzi is like, I'm not saying that he's not a rock star. Like he always claims that he's a rock star. But I feel like this one was actually him trying to attempt to be like an actual rock star. Because there were like several songs I was like, what the fuck? This is not Lil Uzi Vert. You know what I mean? How I felt about it, I can never say he makes a absolute terrible album. But I don't think it's better than the one before, obviously.
Well, we had this talk and you said you didn't like what you want to take, but I'm assuming you re-listened to it.
I never said I didn't like it. I said I didn't like. I wasn't like going crazy over it, but I feel like this album was even like worse than that one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like Eternal Take better. A lot more actually. I was pretty excited for this project. I mean, I didn't really know what I was going into because it's Uzi. But yeah, listening to it, I was kind of just waiting for a song. Like the first, literally like the first 6-7 songs, I was just like, I'm still waiting for like
a song that you really. They're not terrible songs though, but they're not like not grabbing you.
I feel like the best word I could put for this album is mid. It's just mid. It's just album. You know what I mean? I think that goes even obviously niggas aren't like rock fans or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like rock heads. Like, but I think even the music he makes, right? You gotta think about it. The music Uzi makes, like the rock music, I think it would sound average to a rock fan. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a rock fan would be like, this is some regular average shit. Like this ain't nothing special. And I think an Uzi fan isn't even looking for this type of music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, it's the same way I feel about Drake when he did the EDM album. It's just like, bro, you're literally just doing the bare minimum. You're not really trying to do some crazy, unique shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll add like hints of it into his style.
Yeah, like, and it still just sounds like a rapper making rock music. It doesn't sound like rock. Like, you know what I mean?
Rock, yeah.
And I think literally, like, I was going through this project and I was just like, nothing was really grabbing me. Like, and it was different for Eternal Take. Eternal Take, off the rip, I was fucking with it. Like, let me see. I'm gonna pull up the sound. I'll pull up the soundtrack or whatever. Let me see. Bro, Silly Watch, You Better Move, That Way, Baby Pluto, Low Main, like Secure the Bag, like Part 2, like I'm not saying I enjoyed the entire project because I still think this project is too long.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the flow of this project, it was spaced out more. Like maybe one song in between two good songs aren't good.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, the consistency of the project, how every like the ending of every song would kind of lead into the next song, and they still throughout the whole project it had like this alien vibe, like niggas is taking over the world or something, like, and he got abducted by aliens and shit. You know what I mean? Like the aliens are talking to him like in the beginning of songs and shit. Like it's literally cohesive, and I think, it shows a lot. And it's funny because Uzi said that he didn't really try that hard on Eternal to Take. Like he doesn't like it. Like he was like, oh, like I didn't really go that hard on it or whatever. Like he didn't really like it, but he said he went hard on this one. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, man.
Maybe you shouldn't go hard. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like literally, I don't know what I'm gonna look up the track list. So I went through. It took me 10 songs for me to be like, oh, this is fire. Like Suicide Doors is good. The song with Travis Scott is good.
I didn't like that one.
I honestly, I thought Travis. I was just like, why would you have Travis on the song if he wasn't going to do anything crazy? Like, you know,
You know what's kind of crazy? I like I Gotta, but I don't think that's a popular one.
No, bro, that's the song I was talking about. Literally 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then once I heard I Gotta, I was like, oh shit, I Gotta is my favorite song on this project.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I Gotta.
Yeah, I Gotta, because I like the beat. That's just clean.
Yeah, because I know it's like a video game beat. Like I definitely heard it.
I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, but bro, it's crazy because like Travis Scott was a mid feature, Nicki Minaj was a pretty mid feature.
I was surprised when I was like, okay, Lil Uzi and Travis Scott, that can be kind of crazy a combo, but it wasn't that crazy at all.
It wasn't.
And I feel like those were supposed to be like the eye attractors, and then the Nicki Minaj song, I was like,
he has radio hit with Nicki, and then he has a radio hit with Travis. So it's like, those are like the two things where it was like, so mid. But once I got to I Gotta, I was like, oh shit, this is the type of shit that I like. Like,
I like Mama, I'm Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I don't know if you feel the same way, but a lot of the songs that I like gave off the old Uzi vibes. Does that make sense?
Probably
like,
that's what it
Mama,
was.
I'm Sorry, and like what else? Udo to Mars, The Patience, with Don Oliver.
That one was good.
Oliver,
I like that
what
one.
I mean? Like it sounds
that
like
one was
old
good.
Uzi. Like those are the songs I was like, wow, this is actually really good. You know what I mean? But then like it really just felt all over the place. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not gonna...
The two songs though that I feel like he was trying really hard with the rock thing was like CS and Werewolf. Werewolf like mostly Bring Me the Horizon was doing all the work in terms of the rock.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm not a fan of rock. Like if it's good, bro, I'm gonna listen to it. Like X, like I'm sorry to keep comparing them, but I just feel like that's the easiest comparison I can make. And it's like when X did like rock music, it sounded authentic. Does that make sense? It sounded kind of natural, like where with Uzi it just sounds like a rapper making rock music.
What song was he imitating in one of the songs?
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I think it was CS. But it is a popular rock song. Yeah.
He was imitating a rap song into the rock song. I thought that was kind of cool, but it's like it wasn't really all that crazy.
That's the song I'm gonna like be listening to, like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it just feels weird because he keeps on saying, "Yo, like, get the Pink Tape to #1, and I'll drop another album." And it's just like, what was the point of this? You know what I mean? That's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel genuine. Like it feels very manufactured.
So do you think he liked this album?
Yeah, I think he liked it. But I don't think it was his best. Like, I don't know why he keeps on saying like, oh, yo, I went crazy on this one. It's like, when you mean you went crazy, does that mean you tried very new things? He kept on saying like, yeah, like People aren't gonna like me for doing it. I knew he was gonna do very rock-ish shit, but I
Yeah.
thought it'd be better. It just wasn't. Like this whole project, I don't know. It was just all right. Like it was just so all right.
I mean, the thing with the thing with it too is when you're trying to branch out to a different genre, it's gonna be hard to be considered a good album if everyone in your fan base is mostly into you for rapping. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't really say like he's just rapping. He's an odd sound. You know what I mean? He's like but you call it hip hop. He has hip hop fans.
The thing about it is that I think he could do. I think he could do it. You know, that's the thing. That's what makes it worse. It's like I think he could do it. I just don't think he did it well this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like this isn't a cohesive project. Like that's just not. You know, and then I thrown in. I just want to rock in there. It's just like I guess, sure. But yeah, I still like Eternal Take more. Like I would actually, like if I had to go back and listen to either this or Eternal Take, I'm gonna choose Eternal Take. But I don't think the thing about Uzi is it's starting to become like very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't like that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I feel like out of all the, like he had the most, not the most potential, but he was my favorite in the double XL. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's slowly not making like the evolution, like Kodak is making an evolution for himself, like, or like 21 Savage is making an evolution, or Yachty's making like an evolution of himself, like growing, like becoming better artists. I'm not saying like he's not becoming a better artist. It's just like just something new and unique, or like just something different. Like I just felt like this is all just regular Uzi shit. Like all of it was just super basic Uzi shit.
It's very Uzi like, or it's like him just experimenting and not getting it quite right to how we want it to be.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Did you? I mean, I'm assuming.
I've listened to this album like two times, and then I listened to it like a third time, like halfway, and I still wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, I listened to it twice. And I was just not. It wasn't hitting for me, and like, I'm big on first impressions. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't fuck with it the first time, I'm most likely not gonna fuck with it again. Like, but I still give it another. It's Uzi.
There's definitely songs that I would have in my playlist though.
Yeah. But like, I don't know if I'm stretching, but 5 good songs out of 26 is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, of course, everyone knows Just Wanna Rock. And that's just like, Just Wanna Rock, I feel like it's just like it's fun. It's a fun song to listen to.
Yeah,
I like I Gotta more than Just Wanna Rock, to be honest.
I like I Gotta. I like Patience, Pluto to Mars, Rehab. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like those types.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I don't. And I know niggas be like, oh, like, Uzi, like, you can't expect the same from artists or whatever, but like, I feel like there's always like a level up moment, like leveling growth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think from Lovers Rage 2 to Eternal Take, that felt like there was some growth there. Like, he felt like he actually cared about making the project. And from Eternal Take to this, it feels like, what was the 3 years for? That's really what it feels like. I'm pretty disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not, because it's like, for Uzi, when you putting out 26 tracks, it's like, I doubt that you made those 26 tracks in cohesive and like, you know what I mean? Like, each of them makes sense and why they're there. Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it just feels like he made just 100 songs and he chose 26 of them. You know? But that's just what I thought. What would you rate this project? And what would you also rate Eternal Take?
I would rate this project, I would give it a 6. 6 out of 10. Um, I would rate Alter Intake. Um, I'll give that. I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. When I was thinking 6 and an 8, and that's
Mm.
crazy. That sucks. 3 years for a 6.
Yeah.
And I know he's most likely gonna drop another project because he did the same thing with Eternal Take. He dropped Eternal Take and then he dropped another project. So maybe I'm hoping the next one is better. But if the next one isn't better, I'm gonna be kind of. I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Uzi, I know you're watching this, man. I'll fuck with you. Bro, you really that nigga. Yo.
Alright, see y'all later.
Glamour of wearing diamonds. Diamonds bring status, elegance, and prestige. Their brilliance makes